Today I'm going to show you guys how to build a plane that we can fly, steer, and land within LEGO Fortnite. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing that I want you guys to do is bring up our build menu, go to the toys category, and select dynamic foundation. Once we have this, look for a flat piece of ground and then go ahead and place it down like so. Next, what we need to do is going back into our build menu, we're going to select building parts and then go ahead and look for wood foundation. It should be the second one on our list. Once we have this selected, rotate the block and place it directly in the middle of our foundation until it looks like this. Next, what we're going to do is going back into our build menu, underneath building parts, we now need to look for fences. Once we have that selected, scroll down until you see plank railing number 2. Now what we're going to do with this railing is build on the end of that long block that we have just created. So on the left here, line it up like so, and we want to have it sitting just above. So you guys can see this is in line, this is below, and this is just above. Once you have that in place, go ahead and put it down. Repeat the process on the right hand side until it looks exactly the same as the other, and there we go. That is 2 out of 6 complete. And we need to repeat the process on the opposite side of the foundation, and if you guys have a problem where it's red and we cannot put it down, just go ahead and reselect the plank railing from our build menu and it will now go green. So this is number 3, and then this will also be number 4. And then for the final 2 plank railings that we need to put down, come to the side here, line it up in the middle, and then go ahead and place it on top of the foundation itself. Run to the opposite side and this will be the final one. Once that is down, there we go. It should now look something like this. Now to make sure that it is correct, there should also be these little spaces here in between the fence and the foundation. Awesome. On to the next part. Now from here, we're going to go to our build menu. Under building parts, go back to the foundation section and we're going to select this tower called wood foundation number 5. Once we have this selected, we're going to go ahead and place this on the left and right hand side of the long block in the middle here. So just follow exactly what I'm doing on screen. That is the left hand side done, and this is going to be the right hand side. Once those towers are in place, go ahead and select the wood foundation number 2 again, is the one that we used at the start. Rotate it until it's the same direction, but these are going to go on top. And we want these to be inside of the fences that we have created, so go ahead and line that up on either side, make them look the exact same, and there we go. Now just to give you guys an idea of what we have created, it's going to look like these T's here, so it should look exactly like that, and it's time for the next step. Now from here, going back to our build menu, open up the toys category, and the first thing that we have here is activation switch. Once we have this selected, we're going to place our first switch down at the end of the lower block here in the middle, so this will be number 1, and then on top of these taller blocks, go ahead and place them down the same end, but we need one on the left and we also need one on the right. Once you guys have all 3 activation switches down looking like this, we need to go ahead and drop down onto the ground and punch out the towers. Once we have done this, the top layer will drop into place. Repeat this with the right hand side, and there we go. Once your build is now looking like this and all of our switches are still there, if they have deleted, you will need to repeat that process. The next thing that we're going to do is bringing up our build menu, go to building parts, and then this time select floors. Within floors, go ahead and pick rustic thin floor number 1, and we're going to rotate this and place it on top of these side fences. Now do not place it on top of the switch, otherwise we will break it. So I suggest putting it at the back here, just exactly what I'm doing on screen. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to look something like this. Now we don't want it sticking out too far because we're going to need to place an item at the back here in just a second. Once you have your first one down, go ahead and repeat the same process on the opposite side, and there we go. Both of our floors are now down. If you do need to make room, we can destroy this floor like so. Bring it back up and go ahead and place it a little bit back. Now that you feel that you have more room, what we're going to do next is back within the foundation section, select wood foundation number 1. It's going to look like the plain block. Now we're going to attach these blocks onto those floors that we have just created, and I recommend placing the block closer to the back rather than closer to the switch, just because we don't want to break it. So this is number 1, and then this will be number 2. There we go. Both blocks are now down. Next, what we're going to do is going back into our build category, we're going to go to furniture and then select a bed. I recommend the bed that lets you set a respawn point because this will come in handy later on. Once we have that selected, rotate it and place it at the back of our build away from the switches. Next, what we're going to do within our build menu, go to toys and select the small thruster. Now using the switches as reference, we're going to jump off to the right, and there's going to be this little section here where you can perfectly put your first thruster. Now if we run to the opposite side of the front, there's going to be another section just like it. Place your second thruster down as well. Then running to the back of the build where we have the bed placed, go ahead and place one on the the left and also the right hand side. I do recommend trying to put them evenly across the back because this will help us when we are flying. Once all thrusters are placed, go ahead and jump back on top of our build like so. Bring up our little menu here, and within the toys section once again, we're going to go ahead and select the small balloon. Now with our balloons, we're going to place one on each corner of our build. So go ahead and just follow exactly what I'm doing on screen right now, and there we go. We should now have 4 balloons down. This is not enough to yet make us rise, so we need to place 2 more, and these are going to go on the floors that are hanging off the edge of our build. This is going to be number 1, and then our second one is going to be able to even us out. So now we are flying up into the sky. Once we are high enough in the sky and are not going to run into anything, the way we can fly this is using these switches here. So as you may have guessed, the middle switch, if we activate it, you can see the 2 thrusters at the back are now going. Now if we use the switch on the right or the left, this is going to control that thruster. So if I hit the one on the left thruster is going, and that is turning us to the right. And if we use the thruster on the right, this is going to turn us to the left. So you guys can use these controls to fly all around the map. Now how we land is if we go back into our build menu, within the building parts category, we're going to go ahead and select those towers once again. Now those blocks that are next to our bed, if we put the block on top of it, this is going to give us enough weight to start descending. The more blocks that we put, the faster that we're going to reach the ground. So as you guys can see, we are now almost on the ground. Like I said, to speed up the process, go ahead and place more blocks, and there we go. We have now arrived back on the ground safely. To take off again, just simply go ahead and destroy those towers, and we'll start levitating back up into the sky. Now a very cool bonus tip that you guys can do is you may have noticed that we placed a bed here. What is that for? When it's not raining, we can assign ourselves to the bed, and you'll know that you've done it right because we'll start sleeping on it. And pretty much, if you guys accidentally fall off our build and hit the ground and basically die, we'll now respawn back at our build. And here we go. We are now waking up back on our bed on our flying plane. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, notifications on, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.